Hi, and welcome to the Variant Edition, your first weekly video podcast show. I'm Ricky.
And I'm Mike.
So, today on the show, it's our 25th episode.
25th episode. Whee! And this is extremely special because this is a big mile marker. This is almost half of a year for us here at Variant Edition since we are a weekly show. So, congratulations, 25th episodes. Hooray for us.
Hooray for us.
Also,
high five.
Since this is our 25th episode, that was weird. Since this is our 25th episode, I think it's nice to pay homage, as it were, to where we got our grassroots. You know, and we went out and we went to the MidJersey Comicon in Bordentown, which was a couple of weeks ago, where I met a nice guy, Lou from Geekboy Press. How's it going? Also, I met Chuck Satterlee, Dave Perillo, and Scott Derby down at. They had a table with Little Scamp, and they have really cool little pictures, which you'll see later on in the show.
Very cool.
Absolutely.
Very cool. So, 25th episode, a lot to cover. This week, our reviews. What do you cover, Mike?
I'm taking a look at Ultimate Fantastic Four, Shadow Pact, and the new, and I don't even want to talk about it, Claws.
Okay, I'm covering Transformers Evolutions, Issue 2, Street Fighter Legends Sakura, which I'm very hyped about, and X-Men Civil War tie-in.
I really hate Claws.
I know, you told me.
But more on that later.
And then
you're
statue
looking at...
review. We have more Bowens yet again, and I love it. We have the first appearance of Punisher this week, and we have Archangel. So we have a lot to get to in the show, and we're going to shoot over to Nick with the news.
Hi, I'm Nick, and this is the news for the week of August 23rd, 2006. Free Comic Book Day 2007 has been set for Saturday, May 7th. While the first few free comic book days were scheduled to coincide with a major comic book movie release, in recent years, the first weekend of May was decided to be its permanent home. This year's events will coincide with the release of Spider-Man 3, making it a perfect weekend for comic book fans. Free Comic Book Day celebrates and raises awareness of the unique art form by giving visitors to approximately 2,000 participating comic book specialty stores a free comic book with no purchase required. For more information about Free Comic Book Day, check out freecomicbookday.com. Nobody doubted that Marvel would have a hot book on its hands when it announced the release of the Halo graphic novel. Last week, Marvel announced that the game-based graphic novel had reached the number 2 spot on the Bookscan graphic novel chart, the highest non-movie or non-manga graphic novel in years. The hardcover is doing so well that Marvel has had to send it back for a second printing. The Halo graphic novel is a 128-page hardcover collecting stories set in the Xbox games universe from various creators. In other record-breaking news, Mark Bagley and Brian Bendis will pass Kirby and Lee as producing the most consecutive issues on a single Marvel title when they release issue 103 of Ultimate Spider-Man. But it seems that run won't go past 110, as the artist announced to Comic Shop News that he will be leaving Ultimate Spider-Man after issue 110. No word yet on his next project or who will be replacing him. DC Comics has announced the signing of Adam Hughes to an exclusive contract. His first project will reportedly be the upcoming All-Star Wonder Woman, as both writer and artist. According to executive editor Dan DiDio, Wonder Woman was the obvious choice when it came to time to select the new All-Star title, said DiDio. And having an artist of Adam's caliber and professionalism only cemented my belief that this book had to happen. Expect to see Hughes providing covers between now and the summer 2007 release of All-Star Wonder Woman #1. So for those of you that don't troll the online news sites, last week Marvel announced the delay of Civil War number 4 and 5. Originally scheduled for release last week, number 4 will now ship September 20th, with issue number 5 to be released November 15th. That's right, November. Since Civil War is a large event affecting the entire Marvel Universe with some 20 other titles participating in crossovers, expect those issues to be delayed as well. Perhaps due to the delays, Marvel will be releasing a few unannounced titles, the first of which is Civil War Choosing Sides, taking place after the events of Civil War number 4 and focusing on those heroes caught in the Civil War who don't have their own books. The second will be February's Civil War Battle Damage Report, which will show everything that's happened and where the world stands after the war. I got a feeling that Kev will have something to say about this during the discussion. Next summer's Fantastic Four sequel has a title, Fantastic Four: Rise of the Silver Surfer. According to director Tim Story's blog, expect the Surfer to have some of his classic looks from the comics. And as for whether Doug Jones, who also played Abe Sapien in Hellboy, will be playing Silver Surfer, well, he is involved. But as the Surfer will be CG, expect Jones's role to be akin to Andy Serkis' role of Gollum in The Lord of the Rings, providing the performances that Leto will then shape into the final effects. Wanted, to be adapted from Mark Miller and J.G. Jones's comic, is moving forward. And no, Eminem will not play lead Wesley Gibson. Expect James McAvoy to star and for production to begin in early 2007. Wanted will be part of Universal's new plan of making action movies that are reasonably budgeted under $100 million and yet will have international appeal. And in big news, Yahoo revealed which characters will appear in the upcoming Transformers film. Expect to see big screen versions of Autobots Optimus Prime, Bumblebee, Jazz, Ratchet, and Ironhide, with their Decepticon counterparts being Megatron, Starscream, Barricade, Scorponok, Frenzy, Brawl, Bonecrusher, and Blackout. Last week, we announced that we would be attending the Harvey Awards September 9th in Baltimore and producing a video for the event. The Harveys, named after the legendary Mad founding editor and master storyteller Harvey Kurtzman, recognizes outstanding achievements in over 20 categories. They are the only industry awards both nominated and selected by the full body of comic book professionals. The Harveys will be held at the Baltimore Marriott Inner Harbor at Camden Yards. A VIP cocktail reception will be held from 6:30 to 7:30 p.m., followed by a dinner from 7:30 to 8:30 p.m. A limited number of admissions to the reception and dinner will be available for $50 per ticket. The awards presentation will open to the public at 8:15 p.m. and is scheduled to run until 11:30 p.m. Kyle Baker will be hosting the event, so expect a fun evening. Tickets to attend only the awards ceremony are available for $10, or for free with a 2-day pass to the convention. Check out the con's website for more information. Okay, everyone can stop holding their breaths. All-Star Batman and Robin number 5 won't be hitting the shops anytime soon. DC has just announced that orders for number 5 have been canceled, and that it's being rescheduled for November. Longtime fans, well, I guess we're all longtime fans by this point, will remember that number 5 was originally scheduled in April. April! So that's it for the news. I'll see you later in the episode with some reviews. But up now is Mike and Ricky with a look at the new Bowen Archangel bust.
Alright, so now it's time for our toy review. And this week, what do you know? More Bowens!
Yes.
Can't go wrong. Alright, first we have our Archangel. This recently just came out last week, and it's limited to 3,000. It's sculpted by Randy Bowen and Gabe Perna. So, overall?
It's awesome. I say that about everything, but the wings are amazing. It's huge.
So good. The box, actually, for a bust is way bigger than normal.
It's like 3 normal Bowen boxes.
It's definitely a great piece. Detail overall. The wings are made of a softer resin. It's almost kind of like a plastic feel to them.
Yeah. They're pretty thin, but they're beautifully done. I mean, they're so sharp.
Very stealthy looking.
Sharp in their sculpture. I mean, they're like razor sharp. It's beautiful.
His build is perfect.
Yep.
I mean, it's straight out of the books, man. It's awesome. Definitely.
I love that.
I mean, the base could use a little help, but
the base is nice.
It's
I mean, it's subtle. They went subtle on the base, but I love how, again, Bowen does this on most of their stuff, if not all of it. The suit detail isn't just painted on; it's sculpted on. Yep. It makes such a difference.
That's a huge difference.
Yeah, it's awesome. I mean, the wings are just—they do so much for it.
Mm-hmm.
Really, really nice wings.
So, $55 to $50 for this bust. Randy Bowen does it again, man.
Yeah, as
awesome
usual,
piece.
a must-have.
Definitely. So now we move over to a statue from Bowen.
Yeah.
This one is made by Ray Villafan, and it's a 12-inch first appearance Punisher statue.
It's limited to $17.50.
Mm-hmm. And, well, if you've seen the cover, you know what it looks like, because this is straight off the cover.
Yeah.
The detail is absolutely what it was.
It's one of the nicer cover translations to sculpture. I mean, it's really there. I came in when we were looking at it, and I was like, well, he's nice. I like him. But then when I actually saw the cover, I was like, oh, all right, that's now I understand.
It has that nice classic feel to it.
Yep.
The gun, the detail of the shot coming off.
The clear resin coming out of it, and a little bit of smoke inside the clear resin.
Awesome.
The base is really what does it. I mean, it's going to be hard to see.
Speaking of the cover, the one thing it was missing was the Spider-Man with the target.
The base is Yeah, it's Spider-Man in the target, kind of falling backwards. It was on the cover, and it's just so nice. He's on the cover.
And it's all etched in.
Yeah, that was a separate round circle on the cover. It's the exact picture. It's awesome.
Another thumbs up for Bowen.
Yep.
No, it's very rare you'll get a bad Bowen review from
Yeah,
us.
no.
And this time, well, two great statues again.
Yeah.
So, that's it. That's our toy review this week, guys. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you next week.
Have a good one.
So in the beginning of the show, we mentioned that we were at the MidJersey Comicon. This is some of the cool stuff I picked up. None of it was mainstream, and I just think these were really great. These were a couple of the first things I saw over at the table with Little Scamp. These are by Scott Derby. They're little like caricatures of, I've got Oliver Queen and Hal Jordan. I've got a nice Alan Scott here. This was great because these were only $3 just as a print, and for $5 you got this nice little case with it. I already broke one of them because I'm a klutz. Anyway, they also have Little Scamp, which is their own little comic book. It's made by Dave Perillo and Scott Derby. This is just hilarious little antics of, little Lucifer running around causing mayhem and being a scamp. It's just a great comic, and it's for $2. You can pick it up at smaller cons and just read it through. It's a good read, and it's quick, and it's nice, and it's easy, it's light. I say go for it. This is by Lou from Geekboy Press, and this is Terrible Tales. I didn't have a chance to look at this. Kevin looked at it, and he said it was pretty good. So I'm going to take a look at it later on. I'm looking forward to it. And the other thing I got from them over at Geekboy Press was, of course, this wonderful print of zombies in a cartoon kid form, all fun and happy. This is just one of my favorite things, and this is going on my wall. This was just some of the cool stuff we got. We also had, I had the chance to interview Mike Oeming and Rob Reilly, and and then the intern went running around with his camera video blog thing, and you'll see about that later on. So here's some footage from the con, and I hope you guys enjoy.
All right, so I'm here at the MidJersey Comicon again, and this time we're at the Marcosia table, and I'm here with Chuck Satterlee, writer from Marcosia and some other things. What sort of stuff have you done lately?
Basically, just had my Smoke and Mirror and Of Bitter Souls trade paperbacks hit the stands. Of Bitter Souls is done with Norm Brayfogle, who, as you may know, did Batman for a lot of years. And Smoke and Mirror is a straight-on superhero comic with a cover by Phil Hester.
Cool. Yeah, big fan of Norm's work in the past. How is that like working with someone who's got quite a career behind him?
It's at first, when I first started working with Norm, the phone would ring, and I'd be like, "Holy!" This is the internet. I can cuss, right? Yeah. Holy shit, it's Norm Brayfogle, and like, "Oh my God," And now he's a philosopher and a talker. So now when he calls, I'm like, "Oh my God, it's Norm." It's good. It's cool. Norm is a master.
So give us a quick rundown of what both of those are about.
In a nutshell, Of Bitter Souls is about 4 characters who are pretty bad folks living in New Orleans, and they are given powers by a mysterious pastor named Secord. The powers are directly related to their worst character flaws. They take on the evil myths and legend monsters of New Orleans lore. Smoke and Mirror is a straight-on superhero comic where my tagline is 2 heroes, 2 time periods, 1 apartment. The modern age Smoke lives with the golden age Smoke. He teaches them through stories about the old days. And then we do, as Marcosia, we do a lot of other books.
Okay, cool. Now, do you have any projects coming up? You've got these trades out.
I have The Heretic coming up. The Heretic is kind of the modern day Knights Templar, dealing with zombies, stuff like that. And then we have Phil Hester's new book coming out. This is the reveal of the cover. Phil Hester's new book, Golly. And that's a mind trip. Phil Hester is going off the wall with that one. We also do Starship Troopers, the new miniseries just started, Dead Man's Hand. And then one I'm particularly proud of. I see this as a fantastic book. It's called Done to Death. And we're doing really well with it. Done to Death is written by Andrew Foley and drawn by 21-year-old Fiona Staples, and she is amazing. And that's basically, we've got a lot of stuff going.
All right, so thanks for taking a few minutes to talk to us. And if we can, we're going to get some of these reviewed on the show.
No problem. Absolutely.
Hi, I'm Mike, and I'm at the MidJersey Comicon, and I walked into the con, and this was the first thing I saw, and I've already picked up 3 things from these guys. About to pick up more stuff. Just really great little drawings here, and then you guys have a new comic called Little Scamp.
Yep, that's right.
And Little Scamp is your character?
That's my character, yes. I do Little Scamp, and Scott Derby here does the backup stories. My name's Dave Perillo, and Little Scamp's basically the son of the devil, and he's during the 80s, and he's attending middle school. So he gets into mischief with his little friends, and it's kind of like a Peanuts meets The Exorcist.
I so want to read this even more now, but I'm buying all of these. The little drawings, is that you, or is that...
We both have different... We both do our versions of the heroes, and Scott's are these ones here. We kind of have our own style to them. We just try and do our own interpretation of, the famous iconic heroes that are already, put out by Marvel and DC and independent publishers and stuff.
So you do the backstories. Now, what exactly does that entail?
Actually, the backstories came from the stories that Dave would tell me from his childhood, and they're so fantastic and real that I felt that they really needed to be turned into comic book stories.
So how long have you guys known each other?
God, too long. 5 years?
About 5 years. We worked together for a magazine.
We get paid to hang out together, bust into each other, draw cartoons, and then when we get out of work, we make fun of each other for a couple more hours and draw more cartoons.
Well, I hope your bosses don't see this. Little Scamp, you guys catch around. Where else can I get Little Scamp?
Little Scamp is available. They have it at Showcase Comics. It's in Pennsylvania, in Bryn Mawr. There's a Barnes & Noble that carries it in their small press section down by Tyler School of Art in Elkins Park. They have it. And we're at many of the shows. We do a lot of the conventions. We do Wizard World Philly. We're doing Baltimore show. So you can always pick it up at the shows. And you can check out our work. We have Blogspot accounts. Mine is Monigog at .blogspot.com, and yours is?
scottderby.blogspot.com. Hi, Mom.
So check them out, guys. Pick up Little Scamp and a couple of these awesome little cartoons you got here.
All right, so once again, I'm here at the MidJersey Comicon with a MidJersey staple, Lou from Geekboy Press. Now, Lou, you've got some great art here. What kind of stuff do you do?
Me and my friend Eric, who isn't here because he has to work his real job today, we make a comic called Terrible Tales on a smaller scale. We're up to our 6th issue right now, and it's more like an anthology title where we kind of use the same characters each time, but different stories. So you don't need number 1 to know what's going on number 5. Along with that, we make little prints, different kinds of artwork. Sometimes I do comic book characters, sometimes I do my own characters. I make crappy little paintings and buttons, T-shirts, the usual crap. We do art shows all the time, not just comic book shows. It's more for fun than anything, It's a nice break from the regular job type stuff.
What do you do in your real job that this is your relaxation?
I do graphic design and pre-press work for a printer, so I'm on the computer all day anyway. I might as well try to have some fun with it.
But there's more satisfaction in doing your own thing than working for the man, right?
Business cards and brochures all day. Come on now.
Where can fans find you? Are you online?
Yeah, we're online, geekboypress.com. We got MySpace, we got a blog, so all kinds of different ways to check us out.
All right, cool. We got them up here, so check them out. All right, well, thanks for taking a minute to talk to us. All right, have a good one. All right, so here I am with our lovely hostess, Laverne, here at the MidJersey Comicon, or at the remnants of the MidJersey Comicon. So how was today's show?
It was really great. I heard a lot of good things from dealers and creators, and this is our 3rd one, so we keep trying to build on previous shows, and it's just a really laid-back atmosphere. A lot of these creators and artists were at Wizard or San Diego Con, which are great but big, humongous cons, so very different feel. A lot of face time for people to get in here with artists that might have a long line at a big con.
Yeah, that's something we've really noticed here is, we said it before, we're going to say it again. These small cons definitely have that intimacy you're looking for,
That's right.
You don't have to be afraid.
And the variant edition guys I have to say, everybody out there, especially the girls out there, that it's like the boy band of comic shows. There's sort of something for everybody. Ricky's like the bad boy, and Mike's like your average guy, but you can have he's approachable. You can have a good conversation with him. Kevin, clearly like one of the nicest guys you can meet. And Nick, he's more the cerebral, intellectual type. So, the boy band of comic shows, variant edition.
I don't know about that, but...
Anyway, everybody check them out. Come to the next MidJersey Con show. MidJerseyComicCon.com. We'll always announce the date.
And you know that we're going to be here. That's for sure. All right.
That's right.
Well, thank you, Laverne. You put on a great
Right.
show.
And you guys do a great show, too. Mutual Admiration Society.
Thanks.
Okay, my first review this week was Street Fighter Legends Sakura. Now, always excited to do a Street Fighter book, especially when it's just not Street Fighter. This goes into more in depth with the character of Sakura, her training with Ryu, and and doing all that. It's very in depth with how she's been away from him now. She's gone home. She's going back to school, and she's got an email. She was chatting with him, which was a little weird, but he says to her, as a master should, the only way you're ever going to get good is if you train with multiple masters. So her idea was was Armika. All right, yes, she's a very bustum wrestler who beats the crap out of Zangief, which is great, but I don't know how that's going to work into her whole mastering of fighting in general. Who knows? But at the end of the book, it ended that Zangief wanted a rematch with Armika. Breaks up a whole, like a fan base, like waiting for autographs, and it looks like that Armika's gonna have her little rematch with Sakura. So we'll see where that goes. Book seems to have a lot going on with it. Omar Dogan did the artwork, whom did a sketch for me at New York Comicon. So it was good to see that. Other than Alvin Lee, even though I love Alvin Lee, obviously, but book looks like it's going in the right direction. I look forward to seeing where it's going.
So this week I took a look at Ultimate Fantastic Four number 32. I'm a sucker for the Ultimate Universe. I love everything they're doing with reinventing their characters, and needless to say, this was a great comic. It picks up with the zombies are still in the Baxter Building. Victor Von Doom and Reed Richards had switched bodies to save Johnny, and it's kind of funny and awkward in a way because Reed, who is now Victor Von Doom, has to go and save Johnny in order to save the day. And at the same time, Reed Richards shows up in the Victor Von Doom body to save the day because, he can do it because he's got certain abilities and certain powers and whatnot. So he can take down the zombies really quick. So it's getting to the point where he just removed, Reed Richards just removed the parasite from Johnny Storm, and Victor Von Doom is now walking in there, taking care of the zombies and throwing it back through the portal to their own world. And right at the last possible second, Victor Von Doom and Reed Richards, they switch back because Victor Von Doom wants to be the one who saves the world and goes down in history in saving the world. And then the next day, the newspaper is Fantastic Four Save the World. So take that, Doom. I hate Doom, but I like when he gets sucker punched like that and Fantastic Four gets all the credit. This is a great comic and a great series. If you're not reading it, you should pick it up. If you don't want to pick up this one, pick up the next one because it should be a new story arc.
Okay, so if you were paying attention last week, we said that Ricky and Nick couldn't make it to the MidJersey Comicon with us, so we brought along our new intern, Louis. So Louis, welcome to the show.
Thank you very much. Thank you for having me.
All right,
Pleasure.
it was a lot of fun.
It was a lot of fun.
Mostly.
Some of it, yeah.
Now, we've seen some of the cool interviews with the creators that we did, and, some new guys, so now we've got some new friends of the show. But we shot more than just that. We figured since we had Louis, our intern, we'd give him a shot at interviewing some of our friends, our good friends, Michael Oeming and Rob Reilly, and I think this video is going to speak for itself.
Yeah. Hey guys, what's going on? It's Louis the intern at the MidJersey Comicon, hanging out with Mike Oeming. So, Mike, do you do comics and stuff and
Yes, I do comics.
Okay. What characters have you drawn? Like, what stories have you told that anybody might know of who reads comics?
Thor and Powers and Red Sonja and Highlander and a bunch of other stuff, whatever.
Thor?
Yeah, you've done interviews before, right?
Thor?
Mm-hmm.
Thor! Thor! What's going on, guys? This is Louis the intern here at the MidJersey Comicon. I'm here with Rob Reilly. Rob Reilly, that's right, Rob Reilly, comic book artist. You do comic books, right?
Yes, I'm a self-published comic book artist. I do a book called Convention Confessional.
Confessional, kind of like the confessional you go to, when you go to the mass and you confess to a priest?
No, definitely not like that.
No. You've done Ultimate Spider-Man.
I wish. Unfortunately, no.
Oh no,
sorry,
I'm confusing with the other guy. Sorry.
Oh, that's
you
all
did
right,
you
that's all
did you did the Hush one on Batman though, right?
I think you were thinking of Jim Lee. Yeah, it's not. I wish that was me. I wish I had Jim Lee's money.
You kind of look like him. All right, no, all right, forget it.
I am part Asian. It's true.
Really? All right, I know which one you're doing. You're doing the new JLA. That's what
Come
you're
on.
doing.
Oh my! You guys are kidding, right?
Okay, so then can you tell us, what you're working on then? Like,
I'm working on the 3rd issue of Convention Confessional, and did you even read the book? Did you even look at the pictures?
yeah, I look
God,
at.
it's ridiculous! I'm hell with this shit!
So, well, we want to thank Mike and Rob for being such good sports. They promised that they'd give us another interview, so hopefully Lewis didn't burn any bridges for us. But, it is what it is.
Yeah, I mean, if you want to catch more of me at the con, like Kevin gave me my own little can to mess with, so I went around getting some extra footage, some bonus stuff that'll be up on the website if you want to check it out. So, I did my own little video blog thing, since everyone's doing one. So
Video blogs are popular.
Very big now, the cool thing. So if you want to check that out, go on the website and should be a bonus area and check that out.
Yep, so I should have that up a little later this week. Next up, we're going to get to some more reviews, and then Mike and Ricky are going to have their discussion where they're going to talk about a couple things, but most importantly, their Harvey Award picks.
I read issue number 6 of Fell, a series that I've been continuing with on this show and probably would be without the show because it's amazing. And issue 6 is no short of any of the other issues. Doesn't really connect to them, but then again, that's how the story goes. So, we have Fell, we have Rick, our main character, Detective Fell. Going in, he takes a day off. It turns into a work day because he's out driving around, call comes in, and it just so turns out that he's on the street that he needs to be on. Despite the fact that it's his day off, he takes the call just to see what's going on. The entire time he's with that chick from the bar, Mako, like the shark. So, they're driving around, having a date thing. They kind of, their relationship advances in this issue, but not to anything more than hand-holding and stating the fact that they are dating now. So she kind of tags along and gets to see what a working day for Fell is like. And she realizes that it's not really the greatest thing, because he has to deal with wackos who live in Snowtown, which is, breeding ground for wackos, apparently. So you find out that this guy has been injecting his daughter with his own feces to keep her ill and to keep her in his own house, and this incredibly psychotic, demented situation of this man who doesn't want to separate from his daughter, and custody battles and all that. But the fact that he injects her with his own fecal matter, really, really disturbing. So once again, Temple Smith delivers with beautiful images for an unbeautiful world for this story, and it continues to go into yet again, just another standalone issue. No connection to nothing yet. It could fall into something else. But who knows? Snowtown's an odd place.
It's a new Marvel Knight series, Claws, about the Black Cat and Wolverine being kidnapped by Kraven. This is probably the worst book I've ever had to read. I would not pick up this book if I wasn't having to do this for the show. The storyline is pretty much flawed to a lot of points. Black Cat goes to steal a jewel, which it's a demonic transporter thing, and then she picks it up in his hollow, and there's a gas bomb. She gets knocked out. And then Wolverine's going through, metal detector, and the guy's giving him a really hard time, and you find out it's really Emma Frost controlling him. And he finally gets on the plane, and then while he's on the plane, there's no snakes, believe it or not, no snakes on this plane, but neurotoxin gas that's knocking out everybody, and Wolverine's dealing with it, and then he finally passes out and crashes the plane. There's your first problem. A neurotoxin should have no effect on Wolverine because he should be regenerating constantly, and he should have been okay. But no, they both get captured by Kraven and get put onto an island with a volcano which has bombs around it. So the bombs blow up the volcano and destroy the entire island. Meanwhile, there's a bunch of hunters on the island as well who are going after the Black Cat and Wolverine. I have no idea where they got this story from. This is bad. And on top of that, the Black Cat looks god-awful. What kind of costume is that? She's got strappy things and green eyes, and Wolverine's high cheekbones make him look really feline. Just don't pick up this book. Kill the series. It's only 3 issues, so Marvel shouldn't lose that much money on it, I hope. But I can't recommend you to buy this book.
My next review is Transformers Evolutions Issue 2. Now, this was a book I did previous, enjoyed it, and now we're going to the second one. this book takes place during the Industrial Revolution with John Henry. You know, kind of a weird spot for the Transformers to be. But the book picks off with them coming back to life from after their battle in the Industrial Revolution. Now, you have the Autobots, you have the Decepticons. Now, the Autobots send Bumblebee out to do a little reconnaissance and see what's going on. Well, it turns out he ends up turning into a railroad car to hide in the Industrial Revolution, which really didn't work out too well because he's futuristic looking. The Industrial Revolution isn't really. So, you know, it just pops up out of nowhere, and they're like, what the hell is this? Blah, blah, blah. So John Henry gets all jealous of it because, oh, it's nothing like a good back-breaking swing of the sledgehammer, blah, blah, blah. Shut up, bro. It works better. So, so the story goes on. Now, you have the Decepticons who capture a scientist. Why? Well, they bring him down into their lair in the ocean. And they're talking to him, and they basically... They don't brainwash him, but they kind of deter him from them actually being evil. They have evil intent with what they're trying to do. They basically sign him over to build them a base. And, you know, he needs money, fundage for it. So they go and take this train off the track, steal all the money off it, blah, blah, blah. So basically, now the sides are forming. The Autobots, the Decepticons being those conniving bastards that they are. And then you have the Autobots who are just trying to do good. It's like every other Transformers book. If you're a fan of the Transformers, this is great. Because it does take place in the Industrial Revolution, which is odd for the Transformers. So it's nice to see them there and see where the story goes. Optimus Prime has not been activated yet, so we'll see where that goes. So, looking forward to seeing where it goes. Buy it. Alright, so now it's time for our 25th episode discussion.
And this is only exciting because that means that people out there have listened to us bitch, moan, whine, and complain 25 times
And this time is no different.
Yes.
Civil War.
Well, we're not actually complaining about it this time.
No.
You know, 1 month delay from Marvel.
Message boards are flashing with entertainment of geek boys typing away. Damn you, Marvel! Damn you!
I hate you, and I'm never gonna buy a comic again. And the next month you're gonna buy the comic anyway, so I don't.
And the variants.
Yeah, you know that's what's gonna happen. And people are totally ignoring the fact that Ultimate Wolverine and Hulk is what, like 6, 8, 10
I don't know.
months.
It's so bad.
delayed.
I forgot it was even a book. All right, cry about that. Stop crying to companies like Udon and Marvel. It's a month. Just stop it.
I mean, you can tolerate a month on a delay. Now, from an interesting perspective, seeing as how Kevin also manages a comic book store, we're going to kick it off to Kevin because he's got something to say about this.
So if you don't know already, I manage and run a comic book store, so I've got a slightly different perspective on this than, you know, most of the fans out there. And, you know, Ricky and Mike, they're like the fans, and, you know, if I was a fan, I'd be like, what the hell, it'll come out when it comes out, why get so worried about it? The only problem is that I didn't know till a day before it was scheduled to come out that it wasn't coming out. And running a comic book store, you've got to get things, you know, months in advance, weeks in advance. You know, we've got money scheduled for this, budgeted for the next few months. It's kind of a big deal. The problem is, you know, okay, fine, stuff is late. That happens. The only problem is that if we don't get certain books delivered to us, our discounts are affected. So we might have to start paying more for our books coming out in November and December, because we're not going to get as many books in September, October. So, you know, that's the big problem here. You know, we had a lot of new fans coming in the store because of this series. I'm going to lose a good percentage of those just because they're going to be tired of waiting. You know, it's a real problem. I agree with the notion, and I've said this many times, you know, in the store. I agree with the notion that if it's a series, you got to keep the artistic integrity going. The problem is this isn't just a series. You know, this is like an event that is affecting, 30, 40 crossover books. So, you know, it's a big deal, and it's not quite as simple as everyone's trying to make it out to be. The retailers might take a big hit on this. So I'm concerned. I'm hoping that, you know, my fears are going to be unfounded when it's done, but I'm a little concerned and a little bit angry at Marvel that they just kind of threw this upon us and we didn't really know about it till the whole world knew, kind of thing. So it's kind of a big deal. But yeah, so that's my take on it.
All right, so some valid points from a retailer.
I've never thought about that before, and I've just learned, don't open a comic book store.
Yeah, I mean, I'll deal with that.
I as a fan can wait, but that kind of sucks for a retailer.
So, in final view of the subject, stop crying.
Yeah,
that's what I'm going with.
Retailers can keep crying, but as a fanboy, you have no right to cry.
No,
just suck it up, walk it off.
Deal.
Put some dirt on it. So what are we looking at here is
on a positive note.
On a positive note,
us as Variant Edition are covering the Harvey Awards at Baltimore Comicon. This is huge for us.
Very exciting time.
So we are going to have Variant Edition's picks for the winners each week coming up. So we're going to start off this week with 5 different of the subjects that they're covering.
And the first one up is Best Writer, and you got Brian Michael Bendis for New Avengers, Marvel Comics, duh. Ed Brubaker for Captain America, Marvel Comics. Joshua Hale Failkov. I hope I said that right. Failkov.
Doing Elks Run.
That is by Horse and Buggy Productions and Speakeasy Comics. Mike Magnolia for BPRD, Dark Horse Comics, and Alex Robinson Tricked by Top Shelf.
Well, we thought long and hard about these. All of 5 minutes. And, in that 5 minutes, we managed to come to the conclusion here, Mike, that Bendis basically takes it. That
Avengers is a great comic. You can't really go wrong with that story at all.
Best artist, we have Frank Cho, Shanna the She-Devil, David Finch for New Avengers, Eduardo Rizzo for 100 Bullets, Noel Tuazon with Elks Run.
That sounds good, yeah.
That's about right. And J.H. Williams III for Promethea. Now, it's pretty obvious what I'm going to say, basically because I like Moon Knight a little bit. I'm definitely going with David Finch on this.
I gotta go with David Finch on this as well. So, best cover artist, Frank Cho is up again for Shanna and the She-Devil. That's by Marvel Comics. Steve Epting for Captain America, Marvel Comics. James Jean by Fables by DC and Vertigo. Mike Magnolia for Hellboy the Island, Dark Horse, and Datsun Tran for Elks Run, Horse and Buggy Productions / Speakeasy Comics.
Now this one was a little difficult for us. Because we don't. I know, yes, we cover comic books. We don't read them all. Sorry, we have jobs. But I love Mike Magnolia. Next, we have Best New Talent, which was a very interesting one. We have Joshua Hale Fialkov for Elks Run, David Hine for Daredevil Redemption, R. Kikoa Johnson for Night Fisher, A. David Lewis, The Lone and Level Sands, Roberto Acquire Sacasa for Marvel Knights 4. And the winner is... No, A. David Lewis.
It's got to be A. David Lewis.
We love A. David Lewis over here, and, we have a very good relationship with him, and maybe that plays a part a little bit, but we could do that. Deal.
You suck up a little bit, that's all right. But no, he does deserve it, and I hope he gets it. Anyway, best new series is Boabab from Fantagraphics Books, Dramacon by Tokyo Pop, Marvel Adventures Fantastic Four, Marvel Comics, The Surrogates by Top Shelf, Young Avengers by Marvel Comics, and X Factor from Marvel Comics.
Well, this one wasn't obvious again.
This was tough for me, because I like 2 of these series a lot. X Factor, as everyone knows, I love that book. I'm totally okay with it. A lot of people badmouth it. I don't care, because it's a good book and I enjoy it. But I like Young Avengers so much more, so I have to go with Young Avengers. Possibly one of the best, teenage superhero books I've seen in a very long time.
No, Mike, it's the best new series in our opinion.
Well, it is the best new series, but it's also the best, section with the whole teens. And anyway, Young Avengers is definitely going to hopefully take the cake, and I hope
we love Young Avengers. And that's it for this week for our picks for the Harvey Awards.
Yeah, I'm sure we're going to get hate mail on this.
I'm okay with that.
Yeah, I'm okay with it, too.
But we're looking forward to doing the Harveys. We're going to be talking to a bunch of the people that we just mentioned, so be on the lookout. Watch us up until we come up to that point of doing that. You'll get a lot of previews for stuff, what we're going to cover and everything. So that's the discussion this week on our 25th episode.
Woohoo! Confetti.
We'll see you next week with another discussion.
Bye. I can't recommend you to buy this book. I can recommend you to start a fire with it. That's a good use for this book. If you want to tear it up and use it as bookmarkers, that's another good use for this book. you got a loose table and you need to elevate it like a quarter of an inch, yeah, you can throw the book under there. Other than that, this book is pretty much useless. It can be a coaster, so you don't get coffee stains on your good books. But yeah, don't pick up this book unless you need a coaster.